How are you today? This is another Tuesday trivia, and I am standing in the foyer, the main hallway of the former home of the artist that we're featuring today. So let's get to the moving and grooving, and then I'll tell you whose former home I am standing in today. Okay? Woman, who's 3 months, let's back up. And Aretha Franklin. Okay, guys, I love that song. We're celebrating Women's History Month this month and month of March. To celebrate Tuesday Trivia, there's some powerful, trailblazing women in the entertainment industry. And today, I said I was standing in the former home of the legendary actress Katharine Hepburn. Yes, once Katharine Hepburn lived in this home, so she's our featured trailblazing artist today in celebration of Women's History Month. Katharine Hepburn was born on May 12th in Hartford, Connecticut, and she died on June 23rd, 2003. This home I'm standing in is also in Connecticut, but she was born in Connecticut. She is a trailblazing artist. She holds the record for so many Oscar nominations. She has won a record 4 Oscars throughout her career, including the 1981 Oscar for Golden Pond, which is starred in with Henry Fonda and Jane Fonda. She's like it has been nominated for over 100 awards. Has won 50. She has a BAFTA, which is the British the British Academy Awards, a SAG Lifetime Achievement Award. She had a remarkable career. She also did theater, was in over 33 plays, 44 movies, 8 television movies. Such a remarkable prolific career. So what we are going to do is look at, she received her Kennedy Center Honors in 1990. So we're gonna look at that clip, then come back and play our bonus round. So again, today we are celebrating the legendary career of Katharine Hepburn. Let's go to the clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Lansbury.
When I think about Katharine Hepburn, so many things come to my mind, images. Her New England honesty and forthrightness, her unique style and brilliant originality. But I suppose most of all, I think of the one quality which sets her apart more than any other. She is a true American eccentric. Now, please understand, by that I don't mean strange or quirky. Although one is reminded of those moments, such as the time she was told by the heads of RKO that no self-respecting actress would ever wear dungarees in public. She told them she agreed completely, stripped them off and strolled through the lot in her undergarments. But when I describe her as an eccentric, I am referring to the strict Webster definition of the term. That which deviates from a circular path or orbit, located somewhere other than at geometric center. That truly is Kate. I worked with her only once. It was in 1948. The film was The State of the Union. I was barely past my teens and absolutely terrified. But she welcomed me and challenged me, and in that brief time together, taught me more about the actor's craft, possibilities, and generosity than anyone before or since. Thank you, dear Kate, for that. When she was a child, over the mantel of her family's fireplace was inscribed, "Listen to the song of life." She has surely done that, and in the process, written a new song of strength and individualism for the rest of us to hear as well.
I think I was born at a time that was enormously suitable for my personality. And I think I was born of two people who were really fascinating. I'm a total product, every day that I live, every performance I give, of them. If I had to put it in one word, I think they gave me freedom from fear.
Life was something she would take on her terms. So was acting. In New York, the few small parts she landed, she usually lost for talking back to the directors. But with the right starring role, she was overpowering. Hollywood made an offer. Unimpressed with the movies, she named an outrageous price and told them, "Take it or leave it." She strode into town, said a director, and changed our notion of what an actress could be.
When I come in... What is the matter with you?
But you see,
Do you realize that you're making a perfect fool of yourself? Now, look here, you can't tell me that I tore your coat. There's such a thing as being...
Oh.
Will you please stop doing that with your hat?
What
in the world is going on
Oh, no,
here?
please don't move.
Oh, I've had about enough of this.
Now, look, listen to me. Let's get out of here. Just start walking. Believe
So
me,
now you want to walk. Well, I'm quite sure that I don't want to walk with you. And I hope you realize that you've made a perfect spectacle of yourself. Have you finished?
Oh, yes.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Dad. Hello, Kate. The calla lilies are in bloom again. Such a strange flower, suitable to any occasion.
I carried them on my wedding day, and now I place them here in memory of something that has died.
He needs a good thrashing.
You poor child.
Are you gathered here to mourn, or have you come to bring me comfort? You know, there's still something not quite right about that line.
You might learn to read it correctly. That would help.
I don't see why you should object to an intelligent suggestion.
I've written several important plays, Miss Randall. One of them received the Pulitzer Prize. Have you written any plays?
Well, there's an old saying that you don't have to be a hen to know a bad egg.
Feminine and flinty, she was something of a shock. Kate had very definite ideas about what she ought to be doing. The studios had their own ideas. Miscast and misused, she was labeled box office poison. Not gonna stick around for this, she huffed. She bought out her contract, went back east, and found a property that would take her to Broadway. With the public half hoping she would fall off her high horse, she began to rework her part with the playwright. Scared stiff, she was damned if she'd let anyone know it. The Philadelphia story was about a society brat brought down to earth by love. She sold herself and the movie rights back to Hollywood.
Good morning. Stop that music. I'm terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, but there's been a slight hitch in the proceedings. I've made a terrible fool of myself, which isn't unusual. And my fiancé that is, he thinks we better call it a day. And I quite agree with him.
Peace, it's wonderful.
Dexter, what next?
2 years ago, I did you out of a wedding in this house by eloping to Maryland.
2 years ago, you were invited to a wedding
Just
in this
alone.
house.
Here, put this ring in your vest pocket. Don't have a bat and hold in your hand. Which was very bad manners.
Which was very bad manners.
But I hope to make it up to you by going through with it now as originally planned.
But I hope to make it up to you by going beautifully through with it now. As originally and most beautifully planned.
So if you just keep your seats for a minute.
So if you'll just keep your seats a minute.
That's all.
That's all.
He's waiting for you. Come in, Sam. Come in. Haven't you met Miss Harding?
Yes, in a belligerent sort of way.
He hit me first. Hello.
Tracy and Hepburn, they were the unlikeliest perfect pair.
If you think you're going to turn a court of law into a Punch and Judy show,
Darling,
I want to tell
please,
you, you don't...
Please, this means a great deal to me.
Yes, would you...
And it's not a stunt. This poor woman, isn't she entitled to the same justice, that's usually reserved for men, the same unwritten law that got Lenahan off?
Would you...
I know what you're going to say, that he should have been convicted too, but he wasn't. And you're not going to put this poor soul away just because she had the misfortune to be born a female.
Just one word in
there. If I could help it.
Could I please get a word in edgewise?
Well, miss,
Yes, Mr. Walnut.
how'd you like it?
Like it?
White water, rapid.
I never dreamed.
I don't blame you for being scared, miss, not one little bit. Ain't no person in their right mind ain't scared of white water.
I never dreamed that any mere physical experience could be so stimulating.
And there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that your son feels for my daughter that I didn't feel for Christina. Old, yes. Burned out, certainly. But I can tell you, the memories are still there. Clear, intact, indestructible. And they'll be there if I live to be 110. Where John made his mistake, I think, was attaching so much importance to what her mother and I might think. Because in the final analysis, it doesn't matter a damn what we think. The only thing that matters is what they feel and how much they feel for each other. And if it's half of what we felt, that's everything.
After lunch, after we've gotten up all those silly strawberries, we'll take ourselves to the old town road. We've been there 1,000 times, darling. 1,000. And you'll remember it all. Listen to me, mister. You're my knight in shining armor. Don't you forget it. You're going to get back on that horse. And I'm going to be right behind you, holding on tight. And away we're going to go, go, go.
I don't like horses.
I know myself pretty goddamn well. And I couldn't, except with laughter, think of myself as a legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Bacall and Glenn Close.
She looks a fright, her manner is objectionable, and she has no talent.
She runs the gamut of emotions, from A to B.
She can show no emotion except by dilating her nostrils.
That's what they were saying about her 60 years ago.
My mother encouraged me to live in the image of George Bernard Shaw and have a colorful life. She picketed the White House for women's suffrage and delivered speeches on street corners. My first real thrilling job was filling balloons that said, "Votes for Women."
My father taught me how to deal with overly male men. Don't react, just say yes, then don't pay any attention.
Young Kate was a tomboy. It never occurred to her that she was an inferior sex, just a different sex.
I could outdive, outswim, and outrun anyone.
She shaved her head so she wouldn't be at a disadvantage when wrestling.
At RKO, she wore trousers and refused to coo like a starlet. They called her Catherine of Arrogance.
Said the director, George Stevens, she can be rude, but no more than any other woman who's definite. She just says things without adding the grace note.
Said the director, George Cukor. She wasn't a screen actress yet by any means, but she had the same thing then as she has now. Precision.
Tennessee Williams put it this way: Kate is a playwright's dream. She makes dialogue sound better than it is by a clarity of diction and by a fineness of intelligence that illuminates every shade of meaning in every line she speaks.
Kate said, acting isn't very difficult. I mean, Shirley Temple could do it at 4.
She first met Spencer Tracy on the set of Woman of the Year. She said, "I'm afraid I'm a little tall for you."
Don't worry, Tracy answered. I'll cut you down to size.
Certain characteristics of mine were wildly irritating to him. So I gave up some of the qualities I most admired in myself. I stopped being loud and bossy. Oh, all right, I was still loud and bossy, but only behind his back.
To me, his acting was the real stuff that life is made of. It was pure concentration, the mind's truth and the heart's truth, unembroidered, like a clipper ship in action.
1951, The African Queen. I know the whole story. The producer, Sam Spiegel, told Bogey he had Houston and Hepburn. And he told Houston he had Bogart and Hepburn. And he told Hepburn he had Bogart and Houston before he had any of them. And that's how he got all of them.
Said John Huston, Katie was being rather stern and stiff with the part. So I told her it should be played not as a schoolmistress, but as a great lady. You know, chin up, onward, ever onward. Katie asked me, what great lady? So I had to think. And I said, Eleanor Roosevelt.
That was the goddamnedest best piece of direction I have ever heard. He just told me exactly how to play that part.
She won her third Oscar for playing Eleanor of Aquitaine in The Lion in Winter.
Eleanor of Aquitaine had lived at a time when women had few significant rights. She had enormous intelligence and titanic energy, and presented an image of womanhood at variance with a subordinate role ordained by her sex.
When the script for the film version of The Lion in Winter came to Peter O'Toole, he said, "It occurred to me that there was only one actress on the face of the earth who could play Eleanor of Aquitaine. So I sent her the script, and the telephone rang within days, and the voice said, 'Do it before I die.'"
I think the reason that people have an affection for me now is that I have lived a life a lot of women think would have been a nice life to have lived. Dignified, but free. They think I've done what I wanted to do. They don't bother to think that they might have 5 kids and I don't. But I have brains enough to know you can't have it all. You just can't.
These words by her idol, George Bernard Shaw, could have been written for and about Katharine Hepburn. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for circumstances they want. And if they can't find them, make them.
Thank you, Kate.
Wasn't that amazing, you guys? She was truly a trailblazer. So let it go. Truly, wasn't that amazing, guys? She was truly a trailblazer. Like I said, she was born in Hartford, Connecticut, and from Hartford, Connecticut, went on to have this amazing, prolific, trailblazing career, opening the doors for many female actors who came behind her. So, let us go to our bonus round. Bonus question number 1. Where was Katharine Hepburn born? Bonus question number 1. Where was Katharine Hepburn born? Bonus question number 2. Name a film Katharine Hepburn won an Oscar for. Okay? She won 4, so you only need to name 1. Bonus question number 2. Name a film Katharine Hepburn won an Oscar for. Bonus question number 1. Where was Katharine Hepburn born? bonus question number 2, where name a film Katharine Hepburn won an Oscar for. And again, if you go on Google and say Katharine Hepburn Oscars, or if you type the Siri, you can also ask a question. I want you guys to get used to just doing a little research, because sometimes they have to do that for role play and theater. So this time, you can ask Siri, ask for support, but again, bonus questions. 1, where was Katharine Hepburn born? Which I said a couple times in the video, in this video class. And bonus question number 2, name a film Katharine Hepburn won an Oscar for. Alright? So guys, we're gonna end it the way we begin it. In the beginning, we had some Annie Lennox, Aretha Franklin. I love Annie Lennox. Talk about powerful female artists. I love Annie Lennox, and we're going to play one of my favorite songs by Annie Lennox, who I think is the bomb, and again, a great way to move and groove and celebrate artists during Women's History Month. Okay? Hey guys, I forgot to say this. Email your Tuesday trivia answers to dejclass@gmail.com or call or text 323-364-2478. Love you guys.